When I heard somebody calling, now his interview, it wasn't pretty. He wasn't a very remarkable person. But that's the kind of stuff that heroes are made of. Hero is a male or a female, a character who, in the face of danger and adversity, or from a position of weakness, displays courage and the will for self-sacrifice for some greater good of others. It is an everyday, ordinary, often unrecognized person that demonstrates extraordinary strength, courage, and self-sacrifice in times of great need. I was reading about a young lady, 22 years old, whose father was had his BMW jacked up, and somehow the jack slipped and the car fell on the man and was crushing him to death. And this 22-year-old daughter came and lifted the car. Literally, she lifted the car enough to pull him out. You know, and you imagine lifting a car at the same time you're pulling somebody out. You know, that's extraordinary strength.
Yeah, that's right.
Scientists call that adrenaline, an adrenaline hero. Who just and when your heart stops, if your heart stops and you're in the hospital, they get to you in time, they would take a needle and push it into your heart and will put in some adrenaline to stimulate your heart, to make it beat. And adrenaline is that thing that gives us extraordinary courage and strength. And just out of our love, our concern for someone, we develop strength we didn't know we had.
That's right.
Heroes. An 8-year-old boy in California in 2012 saw another boy, didn't indicate his age, but another boy was at the bottom of the pool. He was not moving. And this boy, somebody's hollering, this boy is drowning, he needs help. This little boy dives in the water at 8 years old, pulls the other boy out, pulls him to the side, and he notices that the boy is blue. He's not breathing. And somehow this 8-year-old pulls this boy up on the side of the pool and begins to administer CPR.
Yes.
He's only seen it on television, only heard the people talk about it in school. But he knows enough to push on the boy's chest and to breathe into his mouth. And he does that. And when the paramedics arrived, they said that the boy has come out of his state of death. And that he's coughing because of this 8-year-old boy's courage. Heroes come from all walks of life, of all ages. And while we talk about military people and police and firemen and emergency workers, on one hand, that's their job. But on the other hand, you see extraordinary acts of courage where they will rush into the line of fire to save lives, and they receive medals and medals of honor and presidential proclamations and all kinds of pats on the backs and plaudits and plaques and trophies and rewards. But there are people who are heroes who are never recognized. They're just extraordinary people. In some respects, some may say that they are zeros. But when we consider this thing, when we think about this, there are heroes among us.
That's right.
Heroes are those mothers who provide for their children on nothing. You know, without help, they raise them and they do whatever it takes to take care of their babies. That's a hero. Whether we know it or not. Heroes will go in in and would say, the doctor, look, doctor, test me. If my friend, if my brother, if my sister, my mother needs a kidney, see if one of mine will work. A hero will go in and say, look, my brother needs blood. I don't know if I'm the right type, but give him all he needs if I can provide. The heroes, whether you know it or not, among us. Amen. And sometimes we may not be the right type. We may not be in a position where we're able to do it. We may be ill ourselves, but still we put ourselves on the line. Heroes go out of their way when they're not able, but they go and take other folk to the hospital.
That's right.
Go check on other folk. They're heroes among us. We talked about heroes. Now let's consider the other side of the equation, and that is the zero. And let's visit with that for a moment. The zero is the lowest denomination or number. It's nothing. Isn't that right? Zero is to be without worth, value, significance, and importance. A nobody. And there are people who feel that way, like I am a nobody. I don't matter. My mama didn't love me. My mama left me, so I feel like a nobody. My daddy didn't treat me right. I feel like a nobody. But can I tell you something in just a moment? The funny thing about zeros is that you can't subtract anything from a zero. You cannot divide a zero. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Anything you add a zero to remains the same. 10 plus 0 is still 10. It's unchanged. And no matter how you look at it, a zero is still a zero. Isn't that right? Can I tell you this, that God did not make any zeros. He did not make any zeros. You can come on. From every walk of life, God gives us heroes. Those who do a little extra, they stand a little taller. They're able to present themselves a little better. Uniforms help, don't they? They give confidence. But most of the heroes we discover don't have a uniform. You can keep that on or you can take it off. You're our hero. You can go back to see if you want. You want to go back? You want to keep it on or you can keep it on if you want. Amen. That's Brother Carry On. Malik, God bless him. You cannot subtract from a zero. You can't take anything from a zero. It remains a zero still. But God did not make zero. He created every human being to have self-worth, value, important. You are. Look at somebody and tell them you are important. You have value. And you have self-worth. Isn't that right? If